Good morning. This is Whitney with the Yoga Art Space Studio. This morning I had up the plan to wake up early during sunrise and go to a park and film an awesome sunrise yoga video. And maybe that'll still be coming up. But today turned out to be a little bit colder and windier than I expected. And so let's do chair yoga inside today. So chair yoga is awesome because it can be beneficial for all levels. Those of us that have range of motion problems, like in the shoulders, you'll see I've got different options to only go within what's comfortable for you. Chair yoga is pretty good because you can add in core movements. Some of them can be kind of intense. And some of them you just do 1 or 2 reps and that's great. So the best thing about this chair yoga video, do what you can do, take breaks, and then just enjoy all the beautiful stretches that we're going to go through today. So with that being said, find your chair if you don't have one already. You can pause the video and then return. And it doesn't matter what kind of a chair, probably more of a solid chair rather than a sofa tends to be helpful, but whatever you have, that's what we use. I'm rocking a camping chair today, nice and portable for me. And then when you've got that set up, we're trying to set up a nice tall posture, so plant your feet solidly. And then think of your shoulders being over the hips. Oftentimes in our culture, we lean forward and we don't even realize it. So take a moment to purposely lean back and then lean forward. And maybe back and forward again. Good. From here, sitting nice and tall, stack the shoulders over the hips and stack the ear over the shoulders. Posture tall, nice and comfortable. Closing the eyes, we'll focus on the breath for a moment. Take a few huge inhales and exhales. Building up our 3-part yogic breath, place one of your hands on the belly and begin to breathe into the belly. So the belly pushes the hand out with any inhale, any exhale, the belly comes back in. Take a few like that. Inhale out, exhale in. That's going to maintain itself as the first part of our 3-part breath. Adding in the second part, our hands come up to the side ribs. When we inhale, the belly goes out, and then the side ribs expand outward into the hands. Exhale, side ribs back in, and then belly back in. Doing it in that order. Inhale, belly, then side ribs. Exhale, side ribs, then belly. Take a few more breaths just like that. And then adding in the third part. With the third part, our hands go up by the collarbones. The collarbones don't rise much, but that little fraction of an inch that they rise, that's our third part. So inhale, belly out, side ribs out, and then collarbones up just a little bit. Exhale, collarbones down first, then side ribs in, then belly in. See if you can find all 3 parts of this breath. can make the breath even deeper for a few more rounds. This deep, deep breathing that we're taking on right now is a beautiful opportunity for us to expand the breath, for us to slow down the heart rate. And this helps to calm some of the stress and the tension we might be going through at this time. When we connect with our breath, we remember that all the things that we worry about, they're not happening right at this moment. It's a worry about the future usually, about what am I going to do tomorrow? Well, what if we let ourselves be right here, right now, realizing everything in this moment is okay. I'm alive, I'm breathing, and notice the benefits of where you're at right now. Maybe with sickness comes time for rest, time for rejuvenation, time for yourself. And that includes sickness going on all around the world, things where we're forced to be inside more. So let's take 3 more breaths together, and then we'll get some of our other poses started. Dropping our hands down to our thighs. From here, let's start off with our head and our neck, starting to warm up and stretch through that area. And so 5 times we're going to lift the chin up and then drop the chin all the way down to the chest. Don't go too fast because those bones, they don't like to be whiplashed around, but nice and slow. Here's 4. Going up 3. 2. And 1. Good. Head back up. This one, be gentle with your neck still. We'll take 5 cycles, tilting the head to one shoulder, and then up, over to the other side, and up. So taking this 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Going back over, choose one of the shoulders and just drop the ear over that side for a little bit longer. If you want to take that same side hand, so if you're tilting to the right, take the right hand, rest it on the top of the head unless that aggravates the neck. And dropping the hand back down, tilt the head just a little bit behind the shoulder. We're not trying to crunch the bones on the back of the neck, but just trying to get the shoulder stretch changed just a little bit. Get some good juicy areas. And then roll the ear over the shoulder and the head slightly forward of the shoulder. And chin all the way down to chest. Lift the head back up, drop your ear over to the second side. Maybe take that hand to rest on the top of the head. Dropping the hand down, head goes a little bit behind the shoulder. Ear over shoulder. Go slightly in front of shoulder. And chin back down to chest. Feels a little bit more loose, a bit more happy. And so from here, just rolling your shoulders, roll them as far forward as you can get them. Roll them up, roll them back, and then let them drop down. Doing that 4 more times. Forward, up, back, and down. 3, 2, 1. Good. Going the opposite direction, make it more exaggerated this time. So leaning back, the shoulders go back. It's like you're lifting your spine up tall through the center, roll your spine all the way down, and then press your hands into the thighs to help you rise back up. So rolling the shoulders back, up, collapse down, and then shoulders relax as you roll up. 3 more of those. 3. Think of it being the shoulder movement. 2. And 1. Beautiful. From here, warming up the shoulders a little bit more. Remember, if you have shoulder injuries, take it gentle, make the movements slower, more gentle. But fingertips right onto the shoulders, and then the elbows are tracing circles. Choose one direction first. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Open the arms out wide, let the heart come forward, and then bring the right arm across the body. The left arm hooks around, pulls it into a nice shoulder stretch. Sometimes it's nice to tilt the head toward the direction of the right hand, so away from the right shoulder. Opening up both arms, and second side. Opening up both arms. Good. Moving a little bit more into the spine itself. Start with your hands on your thighs. As you slide forward, the hands go over the knees and they roll down. Let yourself round the spine at this point. So it's almost like a cat shape of your spine. And then as the hands slide back up, they come up toward the knee, up to the thigh, and then the heart gets brought forward and through. So traveling the hands down, exhale. Traveling back up, heart forward and through, inhale. Let's take 3 more. and 1. Grabbing on to a side of the chair, a leg of it, whatever you can reach off to one side. That's helping to support our spine, keep the skeleton long, the skeleton supporting us. And then our other hand reaches up and over so we can lean to the side. Again, if your shoulder's not happy, you don't have to include it, just leaning is fine. And rising up. Grab onto the other leg, reach up and over. Good. Rising back up. And from here, we're going to continue some arm movements, adding a little bit more of a strength aspect. For here, I like to let the feet go a little bit wider, starting to wake up a little bit more of the legs. And so what we're going to do is you lean toward one side. So say I'm leaning to the left. I let my hand or my elbow drop down on that left thigh. My right arm reaches up and over. You imagine grabbing onto something, and then you pull. So you're feeling your bicep contract, you're feeling your lats contract, everything pulls you back up to sitting tall. And then you switch sides. So right elbow down, left arm reaches. It's a gentle reach, so it's like feather light. And then grab onto something, pull. Suddenly it became very heavy. So adding in our breath, inhale, reach. Exhale, pull. Let's take 3 more. Remember, if this is tiring for your shoulders, go lower. 2. And 1. Good work. From here, again, listen to your shoulder range of motion, but with our inhale, we let the arms rise as high as they're comfortable. With an exhale, twist to one side. So you cross one hand over to the thigh, the other hand is somewhere on the chair, can be even just to the arm, and let your spine go as far as it wants to go. Inhale, back up. Exhale, second side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's take 3 more sets and then we'll stay in the twist. Inhale. Exhale. 3. 2. 2. 1. And 1. Good. Going back to your first side. Stay a little bit longer. So this one's giving the spine some time to relax into the twisted shape. When I'm working on a twist, I start off with trying to lift my spine tall. If you're rounding and then twisting, you're not getting the points of vertebrae that really need the stretch. You're stretching what's already easily stretchable. And so lifting up tall, let the shoulders go as far as they can, but also think of belly button twisting as far as it wants to go. And then listen to your neck. No injuries allowed, no neck aggravation allowed, but let the neck go as far over the shoulder as it wants to go, and maybe even the eyeballs look as far over behind you as they can, letting those little tiny muscles on the eyeball stretch. Take one more inhale. exhale, lift up the hands. Just let your spine naturally rotate back through the center. Okay, very gentle, going to the second side. Grip onto anywhere on the chair and on the thigh. And remember, we start off posture tall. And then we begin to rotate the belly button and the shoulders and maybe the neck and the eyeballs. One more breath in. And with the exhale, lift up the hands. Let the spine naturally return on its own. Beautiful. Here we're gonna start adding in our core and our legs just a little bit more. Remember, you don't have to do many reps and you can take the easy versions, that's great. When we're taking a core position in the chair yoga classes, we sit our glutes further toward the edge of the chair. We keep our spine straight and tall as we lean toward the back of the chair. So we've got a nice incline going. Core is tight to keep the spine straight. And then from here, we're going to start off today just trying to lift both knees in and then both toes touch down. Exhale in, inhale down. Now if you've done two and this is too hard, lift up one foot and then the other. That's great exercise as well. So exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. If you're sitting here doing this and this is way too easy for you, what you'll do is make the leg straight and then the whole leg has to lift and lower. Suddenly you'll be like, wow, that's a lot harder than I thought. Whatever version you're doing, let's take 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Taking a little break, we're going to take our right ankle and we're trying to lift it all the way up onto this left thigh. For some of us, that's a little bit too high. So if that's the case, maybe grab some sort of a bucket, a block, anything like that that you can lift your foot onto instead, a stack of books. You can pause the video and go grab that. Or if you can make it all the way up to the thigh, come here. For a lot of us, just sitting here, you feel the hip opening, you just have to sit and breathe and you're already in a good spot. That's great. For some of us, this is, you know, I don't really feel it yet. So what you can do, the first option is just have your hand on the knee as a little bit of weight, or even add a little bit of pressure. Obviously, never, never, never hurt the knee. That's never our goal in yoga. But just adding a little bit of weight, if that feels helpful, or even letting your whole torso lean forward, getting to pull all of those muscles of the glutes and the hips into that stretch. So beginning to relax all the way forward. Enjoy a few good breaths just like this. Now before we take this ankle all the way down, with the foot elevated like this, it's so easy for us to just take a moment to massage the foot. Oftentimes we don't touch our feet, we don't think about our feet except for to put them in shoes and make them walk us places. And so let's give our foot a little bit of care, a little bit of love. So we'll start off with our toes, so giving the toes a little massage. Usually for the toes I use my thumbs and just do little circles. But play around for all these things we're going to do for the massage to just find what feels the best for your body. Make sure you're going through each and every one of the toes. Feeling how, oh wow, maybe I haven't felt a sensation like this in a little while. Or maybe you're good at self-care, and that's beautiful. That's what we need more of in this life. So when you've had time to go through each of the toes, you're gonna work onto the ball of the foot. Now there's different things you can do. You can use thumbs if you want. Sometimes I'll use knuckles, just rubbing and circling and pushing them all around. Sometimes I'll use the whole palm. Just anything that feels good for that ball of the foot for a few more breaths. Traveling eventually to the outer arch and the inner arch, make sure you include both of them. Oftentimes for the outer arch, I'll do pinching-like motions with my thumb and the next finger. If there's other things though, long strokes can feel really good with your knuckles. That's fine as well. And then I like those long strokes along the arch too, whether it's with the knuckles or with your thumbs pushing up. This is helping, the arch part especially helps out with some of the fascia that can get really, really tight. And then don't forget to include the heel. You can do the pinches all around the heel. You could do the knuckles. Sometimes I'll even get my elbow in and kind of just push all around. So whatever's helpful, pushing, circling, knuckles, any of that. And then if there's any other spots of your foot that you need to go back to or just overall touch the foot, that's great. When you finish that, take a few ankle rolls to both sides, feeling how much more alive the foot feels right now. And then drop that foot down, working onto the second side. So ankle up, or put it onto your stack, whatever works today. And then this is that spot where if this is enough, stay. If you can push the knee and that doesn't hurt anything, that's great. Sometimes we can lean forward onto it. Let your breaths be steady and calm, and notice how much you are with the body right now. Oftentimes we go through our life numb to our bodies. It's like I barely pay attention to it. I barely pay attention to the food I shove into it. I barely, hardly conscious at all. So this is a time to be with the body. Feel the stretch going on. Feel the breath. Can you breathe deeply into this stretch? Taking 2 more deep, deep breaths. And then let's take just as much time for this foot. So starting with the toes, give each and every one of them a little bit of attention. Head to the ball of the foot if you finished there. Knuckles, finger pads, circles, strokes, whatever feels good. Heading onto the arch. Up and down. Make sure you include outer arch and inner arch. and eventually to ball a foot. If there is anything else from your whole foot that needs a moment, take some time giving it that extra attention. Okay, when you release the foot, do a few extra ankle rolls, left and right. Beautiful. So we're feeling pretty alive all the way up the spine, the shoulders, the neck, down to the legs. So the next couple of things that we're going to do are a little bit more activity based. If it's a little bit too intense for you, you can either go gentle, take one set and then take a break, another set, take a break, or you could even just skip the next couple of minutes if this is not working for your body. That's one of the best things about having a recording like this. So the next one that we'll do is bicycles. So we'll take that core position again, sitting toward the edge, grab onto the sides of the chair, long spine leaning all the way back. The easier version of bicycles is just one leg at a time. You bring the knee in, extend the leg out, and then plant this foot down. Second knee in, out, plant. And even if this is a tiny motion, you're getting a foot off the ground, that could be what your muscles need today, and that's beautiful. If you need a little bit more than that, do both at the same time. So one knee in, and then the other knee in, right away. Almost like you've got an invisible bicycle in front of you that you're trying to pedal through. Keep on breathing the whole time, never hold your breath. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Planting both feet, we're back up tall. And from here, imagine you've got some sort of a block or like a little mini tower that's one off to each knee. And from here, we're going to hop our feet up and over that area. The easier version, do one leg at a time, hop and hop. And then the harder version, do both legs together. I recommend holding onto the chair for that posture, that stability. It'll be a set of a couple of hops. So the first, we start off with the feet wide. The first hop is directly up and down, staying wide. I like to point my toes when I hop to make sure my feet are working through their range of motion as well. The second hop hops over the tower, however tall it is, and in. The third hop is directly up and down. And then the fourth hop is back out to the start. So it's out, just up and down, and then hopping in, and then up and down from the in spot, and then hop out. So up, and then move, up, and then move. Again, if just one foot at a time is what you're working with, and then the second foot, that's fine. Your tower could be an inch, and that's great too. The best thing about yoga is it's not a competition. This is you with your body today. So, whichever height you're going with, begin. Remember to breathe. So hop and together, hop and out. Hop together, hop out. Three, two, one. Good. Leaving your legs wide, we're going to walk our hands or our elbows to the inner thighs and we lean forward. The leaning forward, the goal is that we're pressing the thighs open. So we're getting the best inner thigh stretch possible with the chair. notice how we had a chance for our heart to calm down, our breath to calm down. Always know if I'm going too fast, take it at your own pace too. Just little hop, little hop. Good. Now the next two things are particularly hard, so if just one rep is where you're at, or if you just want to sit and watch, that's fine too. Whatever is working for your body today, that's great. This is one of those ways that I can tell people, you know, no matter what fitness level you're at, chair yoga has something for you. And so that includes some of the poses can be kind of difficult. So this is going to be tricep dips. What we try to do is grab onto a point of the chair that our hands can stay at toward the front edge. And then when we've held onto that, we try to free our hips and our glutes off of the chair. From there we bend elbows and then press our way back up. So I'm going to aim for 10 of those. But again, take more, take less. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Just come to sit back onto the chair, giving a little break for our wrists. Clasp the hands together. Your right wrist, you're trying to get the back part of the wrist right there to jut out. So everything else pulls back. Keep the breath flowing. And switch sides. Now your wrists flip around, and then you try to get that part of the right wrist to jut out. And the other side. Good. Roll both of your wrists out. Good, we're doing awesome. So the next one of our last very hard poses of the day. With this one, with our inhale, we lean forward, we swing the arms up, and we lift ourselves just a little bit off of the chair, a couple of inches, and then exhale, gently, as gentle as possible, go back down. So let's do 10 total. So coming up for 10, and down. Inhale, and down. Again, if this is too hard, either use the chair to help you, or just take 1 or 2. Five more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Our legs are wanting a stretch after that one. So what we're going to do, hold on to the right thigh. So some of us will be holding down here. Some of us can get up to the wrist and clasp around it. Some of us can get all the way up toward almost the elbow and clasp around it. So however deep you can make that. We're bringing this right leg in. A few times the right leg tries to straighten out, and it might just go about this straight, and that's fine. It might be like this. That's great. Get to the point where you feel a stretch, and then relax it back down. 4 more of those. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then your right heel plants its way onto the ground. I like to scoot my glutes all the way to the edge so my leg can be as straight as possible. My left hand rests on that thigh, and then my right hand slides down as close as I can get toward those toes, giving a good stretch to the entire backside of that right leg. second side. So plant the right foot, or clasping around the left thigh, or a little bit deeper. 5 extensions. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and drop it down. Our glutes are close to the edge of the chair. Left leg is as straight as it'll go. Rest down onto the right thigh, slide down the left leg. Okay. Some of us might not be able to stand. Some of us, you know, are more working with a rocker or a walker, other things like that. That's great. If you can stand, the next couple of poses are for you. If you're not able to stand, you're going to try to do the best that you can. Sitting here, just imagining that you could stand and balance with it. So this is going to be a tree pose. So we stand, we come to one side of the chair, and then the leg that's on the outer part, so pointing away from the chair, we get that knee to rotate open, and we take tree pose. So maybe the foot is right up by the ankle, and that's where we're at, holding onto the chair. Maybe we're sliding the foot a little bit higher, up to ankle, maybe up to the calf. Sometimes people can grab it and put it up to the thigh, but sometimes it slips down, so you don't have to be there if you don't want to. Remember though, sometimes when people start to go higher, they tend to lean forward, so keep the shoulders right over the hips. So if this spot is working, sometimes I can play with, you know, bringing my hands away from the chair, even for just a brief moment, and sometimes not. Sometimes I'm holding onto the chair the whole time, and that's great. So 2 more breaths. Good. Go over to the other side of the chair for that second leg. So the outer thigh rotates, and maybe it climbs, or maybe it stays right at that kickstand version right by the floor. Maybe you're letting go of the chair for a little while, maybe not. One more last inhale and exhale. Good. As we start to release this leg, we're going to lean onto the chair, trying to keep our spine straight. We're leaning forward just however far we can. So some of us are holding onto the top of the chair, leaning forward just a little bit, and you can already feel the legs stretching. Some of us are walking a little bit further down the chair, maybe all the way to the seat of the chair. Still try to keep the spine straight. If you still need more stretch, you can start working your elbows down onto the seat of the chair. So however far you're going at this time of the day, with how your body's feeling today, get to that spot and just breathe into that really good stretch. One more good breath in. A nice exhale. Good. We've got just a few more poses we'll go with today. So come back onto the chair. Here we're going to take a warrior 2 pose. Let your left knee point off to the left side, and your right leg is trying to stay straight. So we want the arch of the foot to be lifted. So if it's just completely collapsing down, I want you to angle your foot more forward. If you can keep that arch lifted so that pushing through the outside of the foot, Maybe you can bring it a little bit further out to the side. So it's up to you how deep you can take this. The left knee, rather than kind of collapsing in, we're keeping it pushed open. So even if that means that you can keep it open more to the forward angle, that's fine. However deep it's able to go, take it to that spot. And then if you need to hold onto the chair to have good tall posture, that's fine. Maybe one arm extends to the side, maybe the other arm to the other side. Try to keep them level rather than super tilted. And then if your shoulders have the strength for this, we're going to take 5 arm circles to each direction. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Your left elbow climbs onto that left thigh. The other arm stretches. Maybe it's stretching behind you if that's enough for the shoulder. Maybe it goes all the way up and over. Just listen to your body. Our goal is never to push it too far in yoga. Good. Let's switch our warrior 2 to the other side. Bending through our knees. This time it's right knee that's the bent one. This is the one that we put at an angle where the knee can stay over the ankle or just slightly rotated open. The other foot, left, is long. If you're completely collapsing your arch down, then scoot the leg forward so you can rotate onto the outer arch of the foot. That helps to strengthen it just a little bit more. If you need to grab onto the posture to stay tall, grab onto the chair to stay with a tall posture, go with that. If the arms can open, maybe one arm, maybe both arms, open them. And then 5 circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Resting our right elbow down. The other arm stretches as far as it's happy stretching. Good. Rising up, planting both feet. Now we'll take a little bit more time to focus on feet strengthening and wrist strengthening. This can be really helpful for people with arthritis, to just help to work through some of the tightness that tends to be there without putting too much pressure on it, too much inflammation. So one of our feet needs to lift up a little bit, just a little bit off the ground, even if it's just the heel that's off the ground. What we'll do is imagine that your toe is like one of those toy cranes that's trying to pick up the toy, bring it up and back. And so you start off with the toes peeled back as far as you can peel them. And then keeping the toes back, the ball of the foot pushes down. And then your toes, imagine they grab something. Keep it grabbed as you pull your foot back up, and then release, the toes go back. So just 4 more of those. Ball of the foot down, and then toes grab, and then toes pull back and release. 3, 2, 1. Good. Do a few ankle rolls to both directions. Good. Second side, do the crane. So push the ball of the foot down, and then the toes grab, pull it back, and release. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. A few ankle rolls to both directions. Okay, onto our wrists. We'll take it 1 finger at a time, so we'll do 5 cycles with thumb and then 5 cycles with pointer, middle, and going on to each and every finger. The cycle is putting the thumb as far in as you can reach it on the palm, and then peeling the thumb as far back as it can reach. So repeat that 5 times thumb, and then we'll guide each and every finger through 5 cycles. So starting thumb, pull it all the way in, all the way back. 4, 3, 2, 1, pointer, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, middle, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and ring, 4, 3, 2, 1, pinky, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, whole hand peels back, whole hand claws in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Take your right hand like a stop sign, pull back on all the fingers and the thumb to stretch out that wrist. And then fingers down, peel back the other way. When you release, you can open and close or roll or even shake that right wrist out. Okay, second side, stop sign. Pull back on all the fingers and the thumb. And down. Good. When you release, you can open and close, roll, shake. Beautiful. Let's give our neck one last chance to just loosen up. So drop the right ear over the right shoulder. The head slightly behind the shoulder. Head rolling slightly forward of the shoulder. And chin all the way down to chest. Head up. Left ear over left shoulder. Head slightly behind the shoulder. Ear over shoulder. Head slightly forward. And chin all the way to chest. Stay a few extra breaths. As the head starts to rise up, we're preparing for a final couple of minutes of meditation, just quiet sitting. So this is another spot where we want our shoulders to be over the hips. I like to have, if my hands are on my thighs, the hands down to me represents more of an energy of processing what's going on right now. And hands up is more of the energy of receiving from the universe. So maybe this is like our next step. Whatever our next step is, we're receiving that. So whatever your energy feels more accustomed to today, have the palms up or down. And all we have to do for these last few minutes is focus on the breath. We don't have to worry about what we're about to do in 5 minutes. Try to just be here. We won't be long, but try to just be here. Building up that 3-part yogic breath. So with the inhale, the belly goes out, side ribs out, collarbones slightly up. Exhale, collarbones down, side ribs in, belly in. So being with that breath, let's take a few moments of quiet now. 3 more deep, slow breaths. 2. And 1. Feel the body calm, present, aware, and this is the kind of energy we're traveling forward into the rest of our day with. So let's take just a moment or two to do any of those last little stretches that felt good, maybe through the neck, maybe stretching the arms up to the sky, maybe a little twist to each side. Good. And with this, we're going to wrap up our time together today with the sound of Om. Join the hands together in front of your heart. Inhale together now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.